Hi everybody, this is Clayton Ellis and I am going to be your instructor for the 2019 winter session. And I know that at the beginning of this course is often one of the most challenging times to really understand what's going on because there just is so much going on. This particular session is short. It's only 7 weeks long. We normally run this session in about 9 to 10 weeks. So we're modifying things slightly and we're trying to make sure that you still get the same experience. You still are responsible for the same 125 hours, but let's just go through the initial announcement. When you first come into the course, one of the things that you should see up here is it should say recent announcements. And up here, I'm going to update this, especially in the first week, probably every day. As we get a little bit further into the course, it might be 3 or 4 times a week. Every single time there is something due, there's some major communication I need to do with you, I'll post it in the announcement area. So since this is the first thing that you see, let's go ahead and click on that. Now when I click on it, you'll see that the announcement opens up. You can clearly understand, hopefully, all the instructions I'm asking you to complete. This first announcement is kind of an intro to the environment, and if you work your way through it, it should answer most of your initial questions. Just to help you navigate, that's why I'm making this quick little video. I say quick, I don't know how long it's going to be, maybe 10 minutes. So you'll notice the first thing I say here, always read the course announcements. Often when the teachers come in here and they're a little bit confused about certain things, I'm quite proactive because I've done this a few times before, and I'm able to help you solve the problem before it is a problem. If you read the announcements, you'll normally figure those things out. You'll see one of the first references is to the course syllabus. So I click over here on syllabus. This link right up here will open up a document, and that document is a Word file that has all the information about this course. In here you'll find reference to all the announcements, but you'll also find some of the background material about the design of the course and what the expectations are. So as I scroll down here, a lot of it is just framework, it's ministry language, it's talking about the connection to the curriculum, it's talking about really what you should have an understanding of once you complete the course, what the grading system is. As you keep on scrolling down, you'll see reference to the major activities and assignments in this course. As you keep on going down, you'll see evaluation tools, you'll see what the marks convert to, and so on and so on and so on. At the very bottom here, you'll see a list of all the modules that we're completing, as well as what the expectations are for you to complete. I'm going to close that up now, and in that same course syllabus link, you'll see 3 other links. These are the 3 assignments. This is what constitutes 100% of your mark. The online discourse, that's your participation in the course. So you'll notice every single week there's something assigned. I'll get to the calendar in just a moment. And for you to get a 80% or above A, let's say, in this course, there are certain expectations that you need to meet. So we click on the online discourse, and it gives you some information about how you should be participating in the discourse, in the discussion forums. In addition to that, you'll see there's a link for the concept presentation and a link for the pedagogical portfolio. The concept presentation is a major presentation you'll be completing. In order to get to the concept presentation choices, you'll see there's a link here. We use a lot of Google Sheets, a lot of Google Docs, a lot of Google applications because it's a really good way to collaborate with each other. So by clicking on that link, it'll open up this Google Sheet and it lists all the major strands in both the physics, chemistry, and biology senior courses. So on here, what you want to do is you want to select something that is relevant to you, pertinent to you. If you're teaching right now, something that might be upcoming in second semester, or something maybe you're really weak on, you just want to get a better understanding, a better grip with. At the end of this course, because there are 25 people in the course, in the combined courses, you could have a lot of resources that you could take away. The concept presentation can have an individual working on it, or you can work with a partner. Work with a partner is nice because it gives you an opportunity to collaborate, and often you'll produce a better product. Of course, you two have to figure out a good time to meet and divvy up the work appropriately. That's why it says member 1, member 2. At some point later on, you will be posting up your concept presentation, which is actually the second last week of the course, And you will all be signing up to review a concept presentation, and as a reviewer, you'll be working your way through another teacher's concept presentation and giving some feedback. It's pretty formalized. The concept presentation information, all the details of what you're completing are listed here. I'm sorry for the numbering system. When it got copied from the Word file over to the HTML, the numbering system got lost, but you can see what all the expectations are. There's a lot. Most of these things in here, technology, 21st century teaching and learning, safety, literacy, they will match up with a module in the course. In the course, there are 15 modules. It's 7 weeks. We're doing one module per week where you're discussing, and then one module per week which you're just working through. The modules that you're working through, that you're not discussing, are all incorporated in the concept presentation in this area. FNMI, STSE, field trips, and so on. With the concept presentation, I will put up future announcements. I'll give you some exemplars of what they look like, and you should be able to take a look at that, plus these instructions, and get a really good feel for what you're supposed to complete. The concept presentation has a couple of formats. It has a PowerPoint presentation, which is not a PowerPoint that you'll be teaching a student class with. It is a PowerPoint that will frame all this information that you share with other teachers so they can have a good resource to teach the concept. Concepts being, as you see, if you're a physics person, wave model, for example. If you're a bio person, meiosis or endocrine homeostasis. If you're a chemistry person, redox reaction, nomenclature, organic chemistry, those sorts of things. All right. I have some exemplars here already posted in this link on that represents the chemistry, physics, and bio, so you can take a look at any one of those. So that's your concept presentation. The second major task, the third major evaluation, is a pedagogical portfolio, which is due on the last day of classes. So on the last day of class, you are submitting a portfolio, and basically it's a collection of the learning you've done in this course. So if you take a look at this, you'll notice that it's framed up around the standards of practice. So the ethical standard around care, ethical standard around trust, ethical standard around respect, and ethical standard around integrity. You'll be posting many discussions in this course, and it's a hope that as you're discussing that what you're talking about will not only reflect how you feel about education, it will also match up with these particular key words. You'll be taking out some of these posts that you've created, you'll basically copy them and paste them into the pedagogical portfolio. And at the end of this course, you'll have a really nice document that will reflect who you are as an educator. And the hope is that from the beginning of the course, starting January 17th, to the end of the course, March 7th, you'll have grown and matured and have a better understanding of who you are, who you want to be. So that is your pedagogical portfolio. Continue working through the course announcements. You'll notice this next thing talks about assignments. So if we click on the assignment link here, you'll see the 3 assignments. It's the same thing that we just saw. It's just another way to get an idea of what those 3 assignments are. Continuing through the major course announcement, you'll see the course calendar. There's a link here for course calendar. I'm not using this currently. The course calendar, it can be found under modules. You'll see in the first module, Winter OISE 2019 Senior Science DocX. That is a posted calendar. It is a Word document, and this Word document represents the flow of the course. So I pull this up here. What you'll see is on January 17th, this is what's assigned. Now, as far as due dates are concerned, I assign it on the date, and then when the next due date, when the next thing is assigned, the previous module is due. So because this one here is assigned on the 17th and module 2 is on the 21st, it means that module 1 is due on the 21st. Technically on the 20th at midnight at 11:59 p.m. Module 2 is assigned on the 21st, so it is due on the 28th, or technically on the 27th at 11:59 p.m. Taking a look at this calendar, you'll see that each week a module has been assigned. So here's module 1, module 2, module 4, module 6, and with these modules here, it will say something like DF, which stands for discussion forum. 2.1 gives you the hierarchy, so you'll find that in a moment when I show you, and then a short title that tells you what the discussion forum is about. C means that you're completing it. That means you're just answering the question. And if you want to go deeper, of course, you're more than welcome to. There's always some discussion forum that's marked with a D, and that stands for discourse. So that is the discussion forum that you should pay more attention to. You should be responding to your teachers in the class, typically 2 or 3 of them, and then you're using some of their language to respond. You're looking at the lesson module and using some of that context to better communicate how you feel about whatever question's being posed. So in module 2, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3 completions and 1 discourse. Complete either DF 2.2 but not both. So there's 2.2 pre-reading and 2.2 cue card chart. So you're completing either one. You're always welcome to complete more than what's assigned, but at the minimum complete what has been assigned. See this module 3, A&E, assessment and evaluation? There's nothing below it. That means there are no discussions and no activities for you to complete and submit. However, you'll notice that in the concept presentation, when you go back and look at that document, that the concept presentation has very specific expectations related to that module. So that is where you'll get an opportunity to demonstrate your understanding and share. The next week, module 4, instructional modules around the 5E lesson assessment and others. In module 5, teaching strategies. So there's nothing specifically, well in this case, there is something specifically assigned, a problem set. Module 6, inquiry, discussions. Module 7, it's incorporated in the concept presentation, and so on. As you go through the course, you'll see things. In the calendar, there's also these special green dates. On the February 11th, you'll see CP progress report. That's a concept presentation progress report. This is where you will see inside the concept presentation instructions, there is a document that you complete called the progress report, and you're just outlining what you've done so far. And it's due on that date, that Monday. On the 25th, the concept presentations are posted by noon, and then you'll have the week to review. And on the 4th, the review is due, and when you look at the instructions, it will make more sense. And the last day of the class is March 6th, when the pedagogical portfolio is due. Okay? So that's your calendar. If you come back over here to modules, this is where you'll find the coursework. As you look at that initial announcement, it will tell you to start at the welcome and start here. So in the very first link, it says contact info. Please use the following link, which is going to bring you to a Google document. And in that Google document, you're going to fill in your name, the email address that people can talk to you from, and you'll indicate what course you're in and when you're generally going to be online. When you're done with this first part, you click on next or go back to the previous page. I'm just going to click on next, it's easier. And this is where you sign up for the project, your concept presentation. So I've shown you that link already. I'll show you one more time just to have some flow. And it's if something's taken and you want to do it, then you can also repeat the concept presentation. But I can't have more than 2 people on a concept. Generally, if there's 2 people who want to be on the same concept, I'd ask for you to pair up. Otherwise, do something separate. Once you sign up for that project, you can click on next, and you'll see information about how the course is organized. I'm kind of going through that with this really long PowerPoint video presentation. You'll see information about the calendar, and then there's information from OISE on how to navigate this environment. So this environment, this is the second session we're running this, so there's still some bugs we're working out. I just would like you to be aware of that. Then I get into module 1.1. So I'm going to go back here to where it says modules. I've finished the welcome and start here, and now I'm into module 1, which is assigned for the first week. It's relatively short. It's really a get to know you. So in module 1.1, it's a class bingo. You're going to be answering a bunch of questions. There's a card to fill out. You're trying to get bingo. Really, you're just answering the questions, posting them. Everyone will read everyone else's questions and answers and see how many siblings people have, whether or not you've taken any other online courses, whether or not you've climbed up the CN Tower, and things like that. So it's just a get to know you. You're not being marked on it. It's just supposed to be a fun activity. Once you finish that, you keep on working your way through, and I think it'll be self-explanatory. In the 1.1, 1.2, this is the first time you're actually getting to some official readings, and still it's about getting online and understanding trust and understanding how to interact with people and those sorts of things. Okay? As you continue looking at my initial announcement, you'll see that you are able to work with people, or you can work by yourself. It's an online environment, so maybe your hours are a little crazy. You have a family, or you're working with school, or whatnot. You can only get on from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. and some other weird times throughout the day. So you'll decide if you're able to work with people. Because we're in a 7-week course, that means it's pretty compressed. You're doing a lot of hours outside the class. When it says 17 to 18 hours per week, that's not on the computer on the online course necessarily. That might be you doing research for your content presentation, you putting together your pedagogical portfolio, you doing a little bit of reading for your discussion forum post, and so on. Your personal investment of time, I just talked about that. Feedback, I generally once a week will give you feedback. I'll email it to you directly. Sometimes I'll post things on the discussion forum. The deadlines I talked about already. If you want to contact me, you're using this address here, clayton.ellis@utoronto.ca. Occasionally it's gone down for whatever reason in the past. My backup email, claytel@gmail. A lot of times when I send things out, it might come through claytel@gmail. That's me, Clayton Ellis. Okay? Once you've worked your way through this first announcement, I'm asking that you send me an email that reads with a subject line SAQ, that's a Senior Additional Qualification Science, read announcement number 1. Okay. I believe that's the majority of your information about navigating the course. I guess the last thing I'll show you here, if you click on this link here that says discussions, you will see all the discussions for the course listed here. They're attached to the module, so you don't necessarily need to go here, but you can. And the very first one is called the Course Help Forum. If you have any questions that are relevant to the entire class, so you need clarification about a question on an assignment or a discussion, or something's missing, something is a broken link or whatnot, anything that's relevant to someone more than you, post it here. And then anybody in the class can answer. I will answer eventually. I try to answer as soon as I can, but I also teach during the day, so often during the day there'll be some delay. If you have a personal question about illness, or you're unable to meet a deadline or something like that, then send me an email directly. Do not post it up here because it's not relevant to everybody else in the class. I do not use this grades form here. I email you the grades. And that's your course.